Yeah. It's Snap. Woo. Who you thought it was? Yeah. It's me, nigga. Yeah. A representative for the A-Town. Hey. Snap stack chips like she live in a Bellagio. I be in it laying on verandas or a bungalow. Catch me in Afghanistan till I witness Sunni. Catch me in Burundi with the tribe for Watusi. I be in kimonos with chopsticks and sushi. I be in Manolo.
Black folks, there's something special about you. And when I say that, I mean that. Black American people, you are special. I'm going to tell you when it solidified him, and it happened during this presidential cycle. It happened for me then. You know what happened? Think about it like this. They tell us that we're 13% of the population. 13. That is a small piece. You remember the little pies that they would give you? That's a tiny piece of the pie. But I'm going to tell you how special that little 13% is. See, the Republican Party has I'm sorry, guys. I've been working out. My chest hurt. The Republican Party pretty much stands on, we don't deal with Negroes. We don't deal with them. We don't want anything to do with them. It's not who we roll with. And we're going to just be openly, we're going to be say it loud and be proud about it. We might not mix words about it, but we're openly standing on part of our thing is we are conservatives, we are God-fearing, and we don't like Negroes. That's pretty much what you feel. And don't tell me any different, because I live all of my existence as a black man. You tell me when you're driving through Mississippi in the middle of the night and you got to stop in the dark, and at the gas station you feel like this isn't a place you're supposed to be. Don't talk to me about I don't know what I'm talking about. But that 13%, that 13% is so special that they said we're going to stand on half of what we stand on is I don't really rock with niggas like that. It missed me with the black Republicans. I notice a lot of times those people are either not from this country originally, so you don't not only feel the pain through the understanding through the history and the lessons that you've learned through school, but you don't get it through osmosis. You don't feel it in your core because your family ain't from here. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I know that to be true. I know, like, if I went to another country, I'm not going to feel the soil like that. Even if I live there and I breathe there, I'm not going to feel the soil like they do. So that's why I say miss me with those black Republicans. I know, and then miss me with the other ones that are delusional. I don't lie to myself. I don't. I know that if I was a white man, I would be exceptionally rich. I know it. And I do okay for myself now, but I would be exceptional. And I know I would be. But then I realized something. Like I said, I'm getting sidetracked. The realization that I had was through the Democratic Party, though. So now, we're not even going to talk about, again, like I talked about the other day in 2020, how they basically told black people you're going to have to start dealing with the illegals because they're coming. And that lets me know, right, first and foremost, I want them here. Because when they get here, we got a whole bunch of set-asides for them. Okay? I know that to be true. But then I started thinking, this election cycle, they have nothing but blackity black talk with Kamala's ethnicity and race, which I could care less about. But then they also pretty much make all the rallies that she do catering to black people. You have Little John as a hype man in some of these things. You have the Kerry Washingtons and the D.L. Hugleys and all of these people and coming out to speak on her behalf. This is blackity black. This is the BET Awards. That's what it felt like when I was watching. It's like, this is the BET Awards. So as I'm watching the BET Awards, and I'm sitting here back thinking to myself, but why? This isn't good business. See, I have a business mind. Think about it this way. In business, what you're supposed to do is you cater to the biggest piece. How can I put it so you understand? For example, America's biggest piece is white America. That's what they tell us, right? We'll dive into that another day. But they tell us that white America is the biggest piece of the pie. So we have a big ass round pie. I think they, what are they, like 60-some%? I can't remember anymore. But just say they're 65%, they're going to have a big chunk of that pie. And then you take a little tiny pie. And I should have really did graphics, but I didn't know I was going here. But in that pie, we got this little tiny 13%. Now remember, they already know in white society they're gonna potentially could go Republican, could go Democrat. It's really based upon their interests. So I get it. You don't have to really cater to them because no matter what, I think white people know they looked out for. Let's just stop playing. I think they get involved in politics to gain access to other things that's important to them. Yes. But at the end of the day, there is no system that was ever put in place here in America that was systematically here to attack any other, especially a white group of people. I'll just say it that way. So now moving on from that, I'll say, so now what are the other groups' incentives to do that? And remember, like I use a classic example. I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of the white Hispanics that come here, a lot of time when they get here, they start voting Republican when Republicans really don't like immigration like that. So it really doesn't make sense for them to vote that way, but they always do. So I think that like white people know that they're going to be looking out for us, so remove them from the pie. The other group of people, why are you not voting Democrat? Remember, they say Hispanics outnumber us now. Shouldn't it be more important to cater to them than to us? I don't see quinceañera parties, and I don't see Kamala Harris talking with a Mexican accent or anything like that. I hope I'm not being offensive, guys. I'm not trying to be. But I don't see her doing that at rallies. I don't see her with Pitbull coming out to her shows. I don't see that. I don't see the mariachi band. I don't see that. I don't see she's an Asian woman. I don't see her doing anything straight for the Asian community. Why is this? There's got to be a reason why she's not doing this and catering to only this little 13%. And again, I got to go back and say something's different about you, black people. See, I think we've been wearing this blackness as a like a scab, I heard this one lady say. But I think you should be looking at it like a badge of honor. I don't like Steve Harvey, but I think something Steve Harvey said the other day, I heard him when he was going off about Cat Williams, which I don't know why you barked up that tree, Steve. But he talked about how haters are never doing better than you, and he's correct. If someone dislikes you, it's because you're doing better than them. You're ahead of them. So then I had to stop and ask myself, even though on paper, black people, and it really in reality, we're losing it every facet of life. I agree. I see it all the time. We're losing. We're at the bottom economically. We're at the bottom educationally. We're at the bottom, blah, 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 blah. We're always at the bottom. And so being at the bottom, I couldn't understand as I'm looking at the Kamala Harris thing. I'm looking at her convention or the Democratic convention. I'm trying to understand, why is it so blackity black? You wouldn't cater to the small group unless you're a bigger group than what they say you are. Aha. Could it be more black people here in America than what they actually say is on the census? That could be one thing. I don't know. Could it be the fact of it's just something innately different about black Americans? And I know this is going to come off conceited, but I don't mean for it to be. I think there's greatness in every culture. So now I just want to speak to our greatness. I think that what is lacking in our community, first and foremost, is people pouring into each other. So let me pour into black people, because that's what we're not getting enough of, us people pouring into us. We got people denigrating us. They got people who want to highlight the worst of us, the worst part of our attributes. I got bad attributes. I got things that are not good about me. But I would hope and pray that I've done enough in this life to where you don't judge me based upon those first, because I think my good outweighs my bad, hopefully. So I have to say to myself, what is different about these groups of people? Why is it that in the small village, in the small town, in the backwoods of Zimbabwe, you'll find a Tupac t-shirt? How did that work? What is special about these little 13%? Why is it that we are globally recognized? Why is hip hop the number one music globally from a bunch of kids in New York City in the late 60s and early 70s, branched into something that has dominated the world? That's greatness from us. That's greatness. Man, you better get in it. You better learn it and understand it. That's the way I look at it. It's not the only reason why I say that we're great. You tell me what other group of people literally had everything set up against. You had chattel slavery, boom, got out of that. Don't let them tell you that you didn't help with that, because you did. You a major part. They were losing in the North until you got involved. Okay. Then let's get into convict leasing. You know, I'm not even talking about Reconstruction, which is bullshit. Because there's a lot of other stuff there's a lot of misconceptions and misnomers and a lot of misses inside of what went on in the 1800s. But we're going to definitely dive deeper into that. Stay tuned for the Petty Professor podcast. I'll talk about that later. So then let's move into, you got redlining, convict lease. I won't slow it down. You got like you said, you know what we went through, segregation, Jim Crow. You know what we've been through. You know the imprisoned, what is it called? God damn. Anyway, when niggas go to prison, the prison industrial complex. Damn, I couldn't get it out. The prison industrial complex. I couldn't understand what I was trying to say. We're still dealing with that today. I looked up online the other day, the percentages per group that are incarcerated, and it's ridiculous between one group that is down here at less than 1% and another group like ourselves that's almost at 40% of our group. That is crazy. We are not inherently bad people. You know this, black people. I want you to do me a favor. Think about your family. Think about your neighborhood. Think about your friends. Now, unless you come from a war-torn neighborhood and war out part of town, you know that you don't know any killers. You don't know people who own, you don't know that many people own guns. You don't know how many people that all they want to do is go to church and go to work every day. The man want to go home, get a bottle of liquor, and go hear his woman scream at her. That's all they want to do. The lady just want to be taken out to eat for brunch on Sundays. That's all she wants. You know that's the life of black people. Why are we in prison at such a high clip? That makes no sense whatsoever. You know it doesn't. Something's wrong there. There's something special about black people. Reason why I say that too is, again, you don't hate down, you hate up. And I always use this expression. If you saw someone dead broke, messed up on the side of the streets, no, even better, go even better. Think about a lady that it's 100 degrees outside, and you see a lady crawling on the sidewalk, and she can't even catch her breath, and she just needs a glass of water. Are you gonna stop? You're going to stop. I'll stop too. You're going to help out. But let me ask you a question. Are you going to turn around now? See if it's a person that has water bottles strapped to them everywhere and you're struggling. Do you think they're going to help you out? No, they're not going to help you. They're not. And that's not what I was trying to say. That was a bad analogy. Very bad analogy. Leave that one off the tape. I should cut that shit out, but I'll leave it in there. But that was a bad analogy. I used to say something better, but I'm a little hot. Leave me alone. I'm cooking right now, though. But no, I think it is, be honest with you, I think it's something very special about us. I think we all should stop and reevaluate things and look at our perspectives differently. I think that we've been, well, I said it recently this way. It's not our fault that we see ourselves in such a low form. There's a lot of money, billions and billions and billions of dollars poured into that every year to make sure that image is not only put out to the world, but ingrained in our own heads, into our subconscious. I made this statement the other day. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was talking about how, what's my man that did, what's my man who did Birth of a Nation? Nate Parker. Talking about Nate Parker. He did that movie where he, the independent film he did when they was, I think they was robbing someone or something like that. They were putting some people on trial, but I can't remember the whole concept of the movie. But I remember in the movie, he wrote the movie, he funded the movie, everything was his, and yet and still he made it when his main character lost to the white people in the film. And to me, and I remember being in the comment section of one of his posts, man, people were questioning, I think, of him about that. Or I saw it on an interview or something. But I think where I caught the response was more or less, and especially it was either from him or it was a lot of people was in the comment section defending him. I can't remember, it was a few years ago. Let me say it that way. I don't want to lie to you. But it was more or less, I got the feel that, did you want to make that film realistic? That's why we took that approach. And see, to me, I look at it like this. No. You fund it. You control it. You create the reality that you want the world to be. That's the way that you do it. You don't create the world that it already is. That is somebody else's interpretation of the world. You could create your own. So best believe if I ever fund anything, it's going to probably have a message in it, yes. And then 2, what's going to be inside that message is something that's going to be positive for black society. I applaud people like Mr. Cosby and the Cosby Show, who, if I heard this correctly, had a psychologist or was it a sociologist? But I remember they had professionals on staff who would read the script to make sure there was nothing detrimental to the black community that was getting put out for them week to week. For one, they told me 2 things I need to know about Bill Cosby. 1, he didn't trust the people that he worked for. That's 1. And 2, it lets me know he gave a shit. Now, am I diving into any other thing in that? No, that's for another day, another time. I'll give you my opinion and conjecture on that if you ever want to know. But what I am saying is that imagery is everything. You want to know why it's very hard for a black child to become lawyers and doctors when other groups of people do it very easily, even when they go to school right next to your children? You want to know why? Imagery. You have to see. People think the way the human mind works is seeing is believing. That's not true. Believing is seeing. That is how it works. You can believe whatever you believe, you can actually see. That's why you ever use the example. Now, you ever seen how a person will say, "Oh, please God, give me a sign. I need some help. Just give me a sign that this is the decision I should make." And then it was like thunder would strike and the person think it was God. Well, they believe in the concept of God at that point. So that's why they believe that sign was for them. It could have been just as well a coincidence. It could have been. But who are we? I can't say that's true or not, but that is her. I'm not talking about my belief in their belief. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So I guess, without rambling too much, all I'm just trying to say is that you got to understand, start putting 2 and 2 together. One thing about it, your open enemy is not going to tell you your greatness. You have to explore it. You have to then understand it for yourself. And then you have to figure out what that greatness, the limits of that greatness is for you. I am not a Jay-Z fan, but I did catch it one time make a statement that somebody told him something. He said, "We can't do that." He said, Jay-Z said back to the guy, No, you can't do that. Don't tell me what I can't do. And that's what I tell people. See, if you stay around here scot-free long enough at this podcast with me, if you stay with L long enough, one thing I'm going to tell you you're going to do is you're going to realize there is invisible handicaps that are on you that you don't even know that you have there. I had them too. I had them all the way up until recent years. I've had them too. I still struggle with them every day. I have to be conscious about where my mind is at and who's controlling it. Understand that it's propaganda in everything, even in the most simplistic things. I always tell people, you ever watch YouTube and they have a little 5-second commercial that you're not paying attention to? And you probably say to yourself, I don't know why you keep throwing these damn commercials in the middle. I'm not even paying attention to it anyway. You're not, but your subconscious is. They don't care about talking to your conscious mind. They like their subconscious mind. But we'll dive into the frequencies of that. To be honest with you, I'm only bringing Scot-Free back now. And so really, to be honest with you, I'm gonna let y'all in on something. And if I keep rambling after that, I keep rambling. I see now, shit, I'm at 40 minutes now. Let me stop rambling so much. I was supposed to talk about other things. But let me say this. What was I going to say? Oh, see, I'm building a complete network of things out. As black people, we need to do for self, and I want to be the one to cover one basis. I will do my part to put the message out. Scot-Free Podcast is not just about me rambling. I promise you it's not going to just be that. Well, I may actually keep this as that. I actually enjoy just getting on here and just rambling sometimes. But we have other things that we don't have going on. And I'm going to put a montage together for you guys very, very soon so you can see what the whole 300 radio platform that this is built around is going to be about. I promise you I'll show it to you soon, guys. I'm working on it hard. I'm trying to get it up. But until I do, I just want you guys to get familiar with the face. It's not going to be a lot of views. I know it. For whatever reason. They call it shadow banning. Some people just say you just ain't hit the right number. Some people just say you ain't got it. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to do my part. So at the end of the day, I'll have my conscience. I can lay my head down and say, hey, I try to do my part to progress my people to a better situation. No hate on anyone else. Just me. That's it. In a nutshell. So, anyways, moving on. I guess I don't ramble enough. I do, man. I just want black people to know, man, you're going to probably get to a lot. Matter of fact, you're going to probably hear more and more from me. You're going to hear things like that. You're going to hear me big up in black people all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we got some fucked up people in our culture. I mean, what culture doesn't? It's called life. I can't control what 40 million black people can do. But I've been living in this existence my entire existence with you guys. The only time I see me and my daughter, can I tell y'all something? Me and my daughter was talking the other day, and she was reading the statistics about things that black men go through. And she was like, now this is a girl saying this to me, a woman. Let me stop disrespecting my daughter. She's grown. But she's telling me, she's like, why doesn't these statistics about what is disproportionately affecting black men being reported in black society? I said, because there's two Americas for black people. There's two black Americas. That is. There is the black America where the entertainers that you see smoozing with the Kamala Harrises and the Donald Trumps of the world. And then you have real black America that we all live in. When we hear a politician like Barack Obama stand in front of you and talk to you in a manner about what you need to do with yourself, but he did nothing to help you, but then say, I wanted your vote. There's a difference in those two types of black people. There's a difference between a black person like a Steve Harvey who will stand in front of you and tell you, I'm going to give this lady, Miss Kamala Harris, softball questions because I want her in the White House. Steve Harvey, you didn't have to get a paycheck. You get it in favors. So some of us may not understand. Money don't always have to exchange hands for to be paid. Or you were paid. And you're going to continue to get paid. You get paid by having your radio show on the air another year. You get paid with another gig. Not saying that you're not talented at what you do. But what I can tell you is this. I can tell you this is you should question her. You have aunties and uncles and grandparents and parents. The children in your family now that are not in your direct lineage, Mr. Harvey and others like yourself, that are getting fucked over very much so day in and day out in this country, whether you want to admit it or not, but you do it in a softball way. You know it's happening. We all know it's happening. And so for me, I don't even forget my point, but I will say this, for me, I'm going to speak to those people. That is the America that I speak to. The America that has to make $1 out of 15 cents. That is the America that I speak to. And that America doesn't mean poor. There are black people with good money in their pocket that I fuck with today, that I do business with every day. Those are the black people I speak for. The ones that want to be good fathers. I'll give you an example. This is probably a plug. I don't know if I plug people because I don't want to get associated with people and I don't want to associate my brand with theirs if it ever becomes one. But I'll tell you, it's a family on YouTube. It's a family vloggers, black family vloggers that I love to death. Family, married couple, children, the whole nine. This is truly the American dream. For me, at least it would be. I'm talking about the house in the burbs. They're able to spend time with their kids. The mother teaches all of her children how to read before they go off to school. The father's an engineer. It's a beautiful, beautiful situation. And we don't all get to experience that. I didn't get to experience that. And I come from a 2-parent household and I didn't get to experience that. What I want people to understand, man, is it don't have to be like this for us. It's like this because we allow it to be like this. We have to stand up for ourselves. We're going to have to do more. You feel me? We're going to have to do more. I like I said, but when I say this too, in simple words than I say it. There are entertainers, sports people alike, that I'm very fond of their work. that I'm just going to have to throw a hard line in the sand, and I will hope you join me in this. If you endorse someone, or if you speak out on something, or you support something that will statistically hurt our culture, I will no longer support it. I don't care how much I like you. Because this is not about like, this is about survival at this point. Black America, you are getting systematically removed off the map. Do you not see it? Do you not see every movie has a non-Black American playing Black American roles? Do you not see that one of the sports, was it NFL or the NBA? One of them now is going to Africa because they're ready to do an Africa initiative to bring that to the America. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the farm system of going through college into the pros is no longer the same thing, and we're into European sports all overseas for basketball? Why do you think that is? We're moving beyond you. Why do you think the other half has to go to prison? The other half has to be feminized. The other half has to be aborted. Why do you think this is? Why do you think that your vice president speaks to women's rights all the time? And let's just be real. I am a firm believer that your body is your choice. So let me preface with that. You want to know how I know that to be so? You are talking to a person when it came time to be vaccinated. It was not time for me to do it. No, ma'am, no, sir. Not going to do that. My body, my choice. But the very people who are telling you my body, your body, your choice should be a thing, told me that you better do that if you want to eat. Do you know how hard that time was? I was in California doing that shit, man. You know how hard that time was? You know how that shit derailed my whole family's existence? My daughter today is supposed to be in med school, and she had to rearrange her whole existence because we said no to that thing. So I understand my body, my choice. Trust me, I do when I say that. But what I can say is that every time I hear the party of black people who give you the 90% plus clip that votes Democratic, what I hear from you all the time is more of that, insulin shots. I don't have diabetes, ma'am. I don't need insulin. What about me? I cannot get pregnant, ma'am. And I have no desire to use Planned Parenthood. What about me? I didn't go to an HBCU. What about me? It seems like everything that applies to me, no one talks about. Why is it that I think like 18 to something, 50% of black males out of work, and I don't want to hear that shit that black people don't want to work? That's BS. You can project that. Yes. Do I know people who don't like to work? Yes. I'm not stupid. We're not a monolith. But if you incentivize people to go to work, they're going to go to work. I'll give you two examples. If people told you, if you leave your country and you walk here and get here, if you get here, there is money set aside for you that is incentivizing them to come. Then when they get here, you send them to school, you give them funds, you give them housing, you give them grants, you give them job training. You are helping them better themselves. They're going to actually receive that better. Trust me. Now let's go to us. We have no set asides and no facet in any of those things. And they told you to do better. They shipped jobs away that we had. Every time we get a job type within those factories, they ship the factories away. Call centers became a thing. They shipped those away. Where are we working at? Everybody gig works now. So miss me with the black people don't want to work. No, nobody wants to work to be poor. And when I mean poor, nobody wants to work to pay their $20 bill, but they only make $15. I just gave you 10 hours of my day. You give me $15. I still need 20 to survive. That makes no sense. People are not going to want to do that. That makes no sense, ma'am, sir. Help the people that are here. You don't want to. And again, I have to go back to this. Why this group can't be helped? Why is everyone can cross the border? We will set something aside for them, but not for this group. Why does this group has to be replaced all the time? Why does one group have to be to help you start this? Why does that group have to help you start this? Why every time we build something, it has to be torn down? There's something wrong with that. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but I can back up everything that I'm saying. You have been targeted. They are targeting you now, and I don't understand why, other than the fact that we must be different, but in a great way. I say to you, do better, understand. That's why fuck that. I say that. That's why I say over here, we're going to big up each other. I love myself. I love whatever that is you guys hate so much. I love it. Oh, I'm going to brag about it. I'm going to be that for sure. Trust me when I say that. Oh, I love myself. You should love yourself too. I mean, whatever group have better headlines than us. Women and men. Come on now. Fashion. Who does it? Us. Everybody patterns themselves after what you look like. Come on, man. Just a simple fitted cap. Baseball players wore. We said, give me that. I'll make it look better. That was us. Don't let anybody tell you, even if you ain't the one who created it, you the one who made it fly. That's always the case. Do others make things fly? Yeah. But my group do too. So you can say all the negative things you want. My self-esteem over here is high. Okay? So that's what I say to you. Pick your head up. And if you can't pick your head up, I'm going to help you pick your head up. I promise I got you. Okay? Anyway, I've been talking too damn long this time. So let me jump out of here. I may come back later on and do some more shooting. But like I said, I'm being totally transparent with you guys. I'm just really doing a lot of shooting this week. I'm trying to get back into the groove of shooting. So if you see me do things like right now, I'm not gonna wear shades on every one of these shows. I'm not. But for this one, I thought it was cool to go and put it on. You know, I'm playing with it. You know, brother still ain't had a haircut, and that's a whole nother story. Still ain't found no fucking barber, but we gonna get it. But yeah, no, I just want you guys to know we were just trying to get back in the groove of things. Thank you for the people that are supporting. Please remember, you can subscribe to me. Go ahead, subscribe. Hit the like button. Matter of fact, I tell you this. I'm gonna do a giveaway. I think I'm gonna try to do some type of a giveaway. If you watch this to the end, I got something special for you. Comment in the section that you saw this to the end, so I know that you saw it, and we'll go from there. Anyway, like again, if I may jump back in here again in the future, again, I appreciate you guys. And until then, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. All right, be free. Peace. I'm out.
Whoa. Before you leave this podcast and go somewhere else, did you hit the notification bell? Because if you didn't, please do so now. And I'm talking to the people who've already subscribed. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that as well. Hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.